Hello guys, welcome back. Uh, what are we going to discuss today? Okay. Today the topic which we're going to discuss it's a pretty simple topic actually. So I have a JSON file. Okay, so I wanted to read the content from the JSON file. Okay, so how I'm going to read the file using Java and how I'm going to use a JSON parser to read the content from the JSON file. Okay, so those things we are going to discuss about in today's topic. Okay. So let me show you what is a JSON file. This is a simple JSON file which I created. This is just for a local purpose, testing purpose. So I have an um student details and which has a name and section, the roll number and the subjects. Okay. So I'm going to read the information from this particular JSON file. Okay. So let's do it. Okay. The first thing we need to read the file. Okay, so I have the JSON file. It is in my the same package, which is nothing but com.tpg.json. Okay, let me first read the file or load the file. Okay, so I'm going to use the class loader. So since I'm using the class loader, I just need to find. I need to provide the class path. Okay, so I don't have to provide the absolute path, which is nothing but my C drive and some specific folder. So when since I'm using the class folder, I can simply use only, for example, com.tpg.json and the test.json. Simple. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's use the class loader. Okay, so let me maximize it. Okay, class loader. So class loader. So go to the file, create JSON file dot get class loader. Okay, I have my class loader ready. So what I'm gonna do next? So now I have to mention the file name. So I have a variable which holds the file name. Sorry. So in here, okay, the file is there in com.tpg.json. This is the folder. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to specify the package name. Com tpg.json slash, it should be slash, and my file name test.json. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happened. Okay. So I have my file name ready and I have my class loader ready. So class loader will scan the package which I'm providing as an input. So I'm going to create a file. New file. In the new file, what I'm going to do is just import the file, new file, and I'm going to use the class loader and get the resource with the help of file name dot get file. Okay, so we get the file now. Okay, so we have everything ready. I have the file and which contains the JSON data. Okay, so how are we going to pass the data here? Are we going to use the file concepts, read each and every line? No, we are not going to use that. Okay, so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the JSON parser, okay, which is handy option to read the data from the JSON files. Okay, okay, but before that, so what do we need to use the JSON parser? We need to have a jar file, okay, which is available in Maven repository, and this is the jar. I mean, this is the repository. So how you're going to get a jar file? Simple thing, just go to your browser and search for this, and it will go to Maven repository. And here you can search the which version you want. Okay, let's choose 1.1.1, and here you have a bundle. When you click the bundle, it will download the jar file. Okay. So since I already downloaded, I'm not going to download again. So my jar file is ready. So I'm going to add my jar file into my class path. Okay, so go to your project properties and go to build path and libraries, add external jar and locate your jar file. That's it. Okay, and it will add it into your class path. Okay. Next, let's use the JSON parser. JSON parser code new JSON parser. So I'm gonna make a try catch block so it will be easy for us to handle the exceptions. So now I'm going to read the data from the JSON file. Okay, so I'm going to use a file reader is equal to new file reader and file dot and get the absolute path. It holds the location. Okay, so I'm going to retrieve the data from the JSON file. So student detail, it's an object. Inside the object I have a string and inside I have an array also. So when you're talking about the JSON parser, you need to keep three things in your mind. Okay, the first one is JSON object. Okay, and then JSON array and our primitive data type like string or integer, whatever it is. Okay, so these two things. Okay, so when do we need to use JSON object? When I have the JSON file which holds the entire information in a single key, you can use the JSON object. There are some scenarios you can have a simple JSON like this. You can simply put it here. See, here you don't have to use the JSON object. You can directly use the string and you can retrieve the data. Okay, but here you need to use the JSON array because it's a array data. This particular he holds the array information. Okay, okay, let's implement it. Okay, and we'll see how it is going to work. So the first thing, I have the file reader ready. So I'm going to use the parser to read the information from the file. Okay, so parser dot and pass and the reader is reader. Okay, and it will turn on object. Okay, let's get an object. Vijay. Okay, now this particular object holds the JSON data. Okay, so now I'm going to convert this object as a JSON object. Okay, so if it is a JSON object, it's easy for us to iterate the information. Okay, JSON object, JSON object, new JSON object, not new JSON object. I'm going to pass it. And your object. Okay, now I have the JSON object which is nothing but the entire information. The first thing, I'm going to retrieve the student details. Okay, let's do that. How are we going to do that? We are going to use the JSON object and retrieve the information from that particular object. Okay, so JSON object dot get of the key. Key is nothing but your student details, and you need to provide here as a key, and it will return again. It will return a JSON object. So let's take it as a parent object, and you need to cast it to JSON object. Okay, so what we are going to do now? Okay, let's print the data. Let's see whether it is returning the data. Parent, or I can keep it as a student details. Let's print the JSON string. Okay, let's run this and we'll see what is the outcome. Right click and minimize this. Okay, run as Java application. Cool, we got the data. Sometimes you won't be able to see the proper structure here, so what you can do is just copy the output and go to JSON formatter, and there is a website called jsonformatter.curiousconcept.com. So there you can provide your data and process. You will get your outcome. See the roll number and the subject array and name and the section. Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do now? So now I'm going to retrieve the name. Okay, so name is a part of student details object, which is nothing but this object, not the whole object. It's a parent level object. So I'm going to retrieve student name is a string. So I don't want to retrieve as a JSON object. Okay, so I'm going to retrieve as a string student name. I'm going to retrieve it from this student detail object. Dot get of. So what is this? The name. Student details dot get name, and you know to cast it to string. String. Okay. Cool. So let me this student name. Let's run. Cool, we got the student name. What else we can try? Okay, so we retrieve the name and retrieve the section roll number. It's pretty much the same. Let's try the subject. Subject is a array. So how are we going to retrieve that? We cannot use the JSON object because it is not an object, it is an array object. Okay, let's try with the object and let's see what is happening. So, and this is subjects. So this also coming from the student list details dot get of. What is the key for that? And it is subjects. Put it here. Okay, and you need to cast it to now I'm going to print the subjects. Subject list. Subjects. Let me try to run this and we'll see what is happening. See, class cache exception, because the data which you're trying to retrieve, that is a JSON array, but we convert it into JSON object, which is not going to work. Okay, so let's take it as a JSON array here. Input. Okay, so now I retrieve the subject as a JSON array. Let's print the subjects now. It has to print the data. Cool. We got the student details and we retrieve the information from student details, which is nothing but student name, and also which is nothing but the normal string, and we retrieved the array from the JSON as well, which is nothing but our subjects list: maths, chemistry, and physics. Okay, this is a simple example to how to read the data from the JSON file with the help of our Java file concept and the JSON parser. And there are other things there in the JSON parser, but just go through the simple step and we'll move on step by step in the next tutorials. Okay, thank you guys, and just give it a try and let me know if you guys are stuck somewhere. I can help you guys. Thank you.